We've reported how an EMP or electromagnetic pulse could totally disrupt our electrical infrastructure. It would come from an outside source, such as an adversary detonating a nuclear weapon or a natural solar flare. But this executive order addresses the components within the electric grid and where they come from.
Nothing is more essential to our way of life than electricity. You can't turn on the lights in a hospital. You can't turn on the lights in your home if you don't have electricity.
That's why Curtis Ellis at America First Policies says the executive order President Trump signed is so important. He says right now the U.S. power grid is actually being put together with parts from countries who are not friendly to our interests.
We now know that there is only one U.S. manufacturer of the specialty electrical grade steel that's used in these 500-ton high-voltage power transformers that are used throughout our electrical grid. These transformers and a lot of the switching equipment and other equipment that goes into our electrical grid includes software and includes microcircuitry and computer control mechanisms which could be hacked.
While much attention has been paid to so-called EMPs, Ellis says the threat is actually in the system.
In these power transformers, they could be manipulated or commanded to create a surge that would have the same effect of knocking out the entire grid. Well, instead of attacking our submarines and our aircraft carriers, you could see a blackout over vast parts of the United States. And then a phone call would go to the White House saying, would you like the rest of your country to go dark?
A type of warfare that could be building right before our eyes. The executive order essentially creates a blacklist of companies under control of foreign adversaries like China, from which power grid equipment can no longer be bought. It also establishes a task force to examine where vulnerabilities in the power sector exist. Ellis says the bottom line for this sector is the same as for others.
Incentivize companies to bring the manufacturing and the production of this equipment back to the United States.
Ellis underscores that just as the pandemic brought life to a standstill here in America, control over our electric grid could do the same. So the executive order also calls for the removal of any potentially threatening components within the electric grid as soon as it's practical to do so. Ellis also says that creating a task force for the power sector is important, but he says other industries need to follow suit. Eric Phillips, CBN News.